was arrested for committing journalism, which is a very serious crime under our current administration.
Boo! You stink!
Please welcome Don Lemon.
My favorite movie celebrity, Don Lemon. Remember when late night was about entertainment?
So the next day, Trump reposts something from someone saying that you should be arrested, you should be sentenced in prison for violating the FACE Act.
That is the only reason he got charged, not because he did something illegal.
And at this point, are you thinking, oh, I might get arrested?
Usually you get arrested for doing something illegal. Who would have thought?
Well, not until they started, the drip of people starting to talk about it. I think Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi and all those folks talked about it. And here's the interesting thing, though, is that after that, I retained an attorney.
Wow, that was so interesting.
Mm-hmm. And the attorney reached out to them and said, basically, I understand that you have an interest because your folks have been talking about it. And so if you are serious about this, then let's do it the right way. He's perfectly willing to self-report it, which means turn yourself in. And so we don't have to go through this whole rigmarole. And never heard back from him.
Why don't I believe him? The media circus is exactly what he wanted. He's a radical leftist activist masquerading as a journalist.
That is customary in a situation like this, that someone would be allowed to turn themselves in.
Criminals get to decide when they get arrested. I read that in the Constitution.
Yeah, people who are accused of much worse things than I am accused of doing is they are allowed the courtesy.
Blocking people from exercising their First Amendment right? That doesn't sound serious at all.
I mean, Donald Trump was allowed the courtesy to turn himself in when he was.
That's right.
He did, yeah.
And so...
As soon as he said something bad about Trump, the idiots in the crowd start clapping. It's like jingling keys in front of a baby.
Then the DOJ goes around and tries to find, and correct me if I have any of this wrong, some judges to charge you. And the judges say, no, we're not going to do that.
I think it was 2 different judges and an appeals court. I think so. It was 3 altogether.
Those judges should be fired.
And then they find a grand jury.
Right.
And are you familiar with how that happens? Like, how do they find this group of people?
Let's ask the expert, Don Lemon.
Who are willing to bring charges against you?
I don't know, I'm not that, astute with it, but at least I don't know the process that well because I'm not an attorney, but,
I don't know how it works, but I'm going to tell you anyways.
I assume that they figure out who the folks are and they send it to them, and then they write up the indictment as to what they are, what they want charged, and then they give it to them. But you can write whatever you want to in an indictment. As I've been doing some research, you can say whatever you want.
Just like saying I'm a journalist and then do something illegal.
And for, even if you lie about it, prosecutors can pretty much say what they want with impunity, and they don't face any sort of consequence.
Does that mean the Trump grand jury indictment was also made up, or because it happened to someone you hate, you're okay with it?
What I will say is that I'm not a protester.
You're a criminal.
I went there to be a journalist. I went there to chronicle and document and record.
And make kids cry. And stomp on constitutional rights. Oh, I forgot. And be a criminal.
What was happening, I was following that one group around, and so that's what I did. I reported on them. And so, but I do think that there is a difference between a protester and a journalist.
I'm gonna go rob a bank, and when they try to arrest me, I'm just gonna yell, I'm a journalist.